Hello everyone, good afternoon. This is the Afternoon Dispatch on Times Now and we are coming to you live from the Times Now Green Lamb studio. Ladies and gentlemen, our top story this afternoon. Home Minister Amit Shah has raised the pitch on the Vande Mataram debate. In fact, he launched a blistering attack on the Congress party, calling the decision by the Congress Working Committee to sing only the first two stanzas of the national song as anti-national. He said in 1937, the Congress divided Vande Mataram and decided to sing only two stanzas for appeasement of Muslims. And by doing so, according to Mr. Shah, the Congress party laid the foundation for the partition of the country. He said the Congress's decision confirms its policy of appeasement, and by implementing its 1937 resolution in 2026, the party is rejecting a law made by the Indian Parliament. Listen in to the Home Minister.
कांग्रेस पार्टी की कार्यसमिति ने एक आश्चर्यजनक और देश विरोधी फैसला लिया है। उन्होंने अपनी पार्टी के 37 के रिजोल्यूशन को फॉलो करते हुए महान वंदे मातरम गीत के दो ही छंद गाने का फैसला किया है। मैं इस समय पर पूरे देश को याद कराना चाहता हूं कि 1937 में कांग्रेस पार्टी ने आज कांग्रेस पार्टी 1937 का अपनी पार्टी का रिजोल्यूशन मान रही है और पार्लियामेंट के एक्ट को नकार रही है। मुझे तो बड़ा आश्चर्य है, श्री राहुल गांधी की नेतृत्व में कांग्रेस पार्टी फिर एक बार इस देश में तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति को पुरजोश तरीके से आगे बढ़ा रही है। अब देश की जनता एकजुट हो और कांग्रेस पार्टी के इस फैसले के खिलाफ आवाज बुलंद करे कि अब इस देश में तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति नहीं चलेगी। भारतीय जनता पार्टी कांग्रेस पार्टी के इस फैसले की कड़ी निंदा करती है और हम इसका जनता के बीच में और विधायी सदनों में भी पुरजोश विरोध करेंगे।
Now let's tell you about the latest debate. Few days after the Congress controversy over the rendition of the national song at the Congress headquarters in Delhi, yesterday the Congress Working Committee decided that the party will only sing the first two stanzas of Vande Mataram at its programs, as it has always done since 1937. The Congress Working Committee, the party's highest decision-making body, cited its 1937 resolution to back its decision. Now, as per the Congress party, the leading lights of the freedom movement, like Mahatma Gandhi, like Rabindranath Tagore, like Subhash Chandra Bose, like Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, like Sardar Patel, had all backed limiting the public rendition of Vande Mataram to only its first two stanzas. This is what K.C. Venugopal said right after that decision was taken.
हमारा स्टैंड वेरी क्लियर है। 1937 का रेजोल्यूशन महात्मा गांधी जी, पंडित जवाहरलाल नेहरू जी, रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर जी, सुभाष चंद्र बोस जी, दिस टाइप ऑफ सरदार पटेल जी, दिस टाइप ऑफ topmost leadership of that point of time decided that whatever the decision they took, we will obey that decisions. We are very, very clear on that. That our Congress party workers will do that only. This is our decision.
जो महात्मा गांधी जी वंदे मातरम गाते वही मैं गाया, जो जवाहरलाल नेहरू गाए थे वही गा। अब तक 18 साल तक उन्होंने जो गाया या जे उनकी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट वाजपेयी ने जो गाया वही गाया मैं, और 12 साल तक इन्होंने चीफ मिनिस्टर होकर अब तक जो गाया वही वंदे मातरम गाया। अगर ये गुनाह है तो उन्होंने 18 साल से गुनाह कर रहे हैं। अगर यही गुनाह है तो गांधी जी के ऊपर केस डालो, यही गुनाह है तो नेहरू जी के ऊपर डालो, यही गुनाह है तो वल्लभ भाई पटेल के ऊपर। अरे ये तो इनको मालूम नहीं, नो पैदा होने से पहले कांग्रेस वालों ने एक रेजोल्यूशन पास करके देश में कौन सा राष्ट्रीय गीत अपनाना ये किए हैं.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is what the Congress resolution is saying. The Congress resolution is saying, number one, that only the first two stanzas were part of India's national movement, and therefore only those first two stanzas will be sung. They are saying the stanza's popularity is tied to the national anthem, and therefore there is no need to tinker with that. Then they are saying that there is nothing in these first two stanzas that one may object to. They are saying the other stanzas in any case are hardly ever sung. They are saying there is a purported religious allusion in other stanzas. Essentially, the controversy is that the other stanzas, apart from the first two stanzas, the rest of the stanzas of Vande Mataram are alluding to the mother goddess. The Muslims have a problem with that. So the Congress is saying that the references in the other paras may not suit other religious groups. They are saying the validity of Muslim objections was recognized then, and they are saying that the first two stanzas were recommended at national gatherings, and that is what we should be sticking to as well. So today, what essentially the Home Minister has done is raise the pitch on a debate that has been raging for a while now. Let me go straight across to Pragya, who is joining us on the broadcast. Pragya, we've just heard from the Home Minister. He's saying that the Congress now stepping out and formally saying that only the first two stanzas of the Vande Mataram will be sung at all its official functions is anti-national. But is it against the law? Help us understand what the Home Ministry notification says, and does the Home Ministry notification cover private political functions as well?
Well, anything that is sung in public, and if any national symbol or any national song is being interrupted or being insulted, it comes under the purview of law. But there is a grey area whether the singing of full Vande Mataram being used under this particular law, and this is probably the reason why Mr. Amit Shah said that we will go to all assemblies, we will go to the people of the country, and we will let them also understand what Congress did. They are adopting that mentality of Muslim League, and this is exactly what the all ministers and including BJP President Mr. Nitin Nabin has said. But you are right on the fact that there is some sort of grey area right now, whether singing two paragraphs is an insult or not, playing the whole song is an insult or not. That needs to be clarified by the Home Ministry itself. But having said that, this has become a political debate. A major political storm is erupting on this particular Vande Mataram because Mr. Amit Shah has said that we will make it a movement, we will go to the people, and this is where they are trying to corner Congress, that in 1930s you bow down to a Muslim League, and that is why you truncated the national song written by one of the freedom fighters, one of the men who is very center to the the sentiment of nationality. Remember, there was a time when these freedom fighters used to even in the colleges and school and universities, they used to address each other by saying Vande Mataram. That was the the address that they used to do when they meet. This was the sentiment behind this particular song. This was the impact during freedom movement, and the times have changed, really, and this is exactly what the government current dispensation is saying, that we are reaching out to our roots. We are trying to restore what was original. We are going to have pride in our history, and this is why we want everyone to sing full Vande Mataram. This has been adopted in 1915 Constituent Assembly. Rajendra Prasad was chair of that particular Constituent Assembly. Now we should, when we have adopted it as a national song, it should be sung in full entirety, and in fact it should be given the same honor that Mr. Bankim Chand Chatterjee has wanted. So this is an opinion, and this is also the sentiment of the ruling dispensation right now. But it looks like that Congress doesn't agree with that. They say that we have already adopted two paragraphs and we are going to continue with that. It looks like there is a tussle that is going on, especially with the poll-bound states like Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand. sentiment of nationality. BJP is also known for that. It is the forte of BJP. It looks like that the BJP will up its hands against Congress for not honoring Vande Mataram as it should be.
All right, we leave it there. As you mentioned, a full-blown political war between the BJP and the Congress party. The BJP saying that the Congress party's resolution is highly condemnable and proves that the Congress party is above the country. On the other hand, Congress is defending its resolution, citing Mahatma Gandhi, Pandit Nehru, Rabindranath Tagore, Subhash Chandra Bose and Sardar Patel all agreeing together in 1937 that only the first two stanzas should be sung. Listen in to the BJP and the Congress.
वंदे मातरम को लेकर प्रस्ताव पारित किया है वो अत्यंत ही निंदनीय है और इसके साथ साथ कांग्रेस पार्टी ने साबित कर दिया कि उनके लिए पार्टी देश से ऊपर है इसलिए देश के संविधान के द्वारा प्रदत्त शक्ति के साथ संसद से पारित कानून से बड़ा है उनका कार्य समिति का प्रस्ताव कांग्रेस ने यह भी साबित किया है कि वो अपने को संविधान से ऊपर अपने को देश से ऊपर और अपने पार्टी के प्रस्ताव को संविधान के कानून से ऊपर मानती है और उसके साथ अब इस अटकलों पर विराम लगा दिया है कांग्रेस ने कि वो अब आज की नई मुस्लिम लीग हो गई है
And now let's listen in to what the Congress party is saying.
It is to attack the minorities to get the votes of the majority. But the BJP Sangh Parivar project has failed. And last time, if only the India bloc had been consolidated, we would have had Rahul Gandhi as Prime Minister of India today. That is the truth. And so all we need is to bring the opposition together so that the true voice of India can speak. Now, what would you think of a British government that on grounds of colour were to remove all coloured people from the United Kingdom? Well, that's exactly what's happening in India. That all people who belong to a particular religion, which is not that of the majority, are being thrust aside. That's the sadness.
They are a bunch of anti-constitutional lot. They are against the constitution, they are against the ethos of this country, they are against the icons of this country, icons like Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore, icons like Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, heroes like Sardar Patel. If these people can oppose Sardar Patel, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore, Mahatma Gandhi, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, C. Rajagopalachari, then what do we say? Who is anti-national now? It's in front of you.
As that debate rages on, here is what else is making the news. Pakistan in absolute meltdown mode. Today, rattled, desperate and completely parched of diplomatic leverage, Islamabad has had to resort to petty, low-grade retaliation after receiving a diplomatic blow from the United States yesterday. For months, you know, ladies and gentlemen, Shehbaz Sharif has tried to fake a close alliance with the White House, posing on global stages to look relevant. But yesterday, US Ambassador to India, Sergio Gore's statement completely destroying Pakistan's propaganda. By calling Jammu and Kashmir an integral and important part of India, Washington has officially stated what India has always believed. But it is something that has left Pakistan utterly isolated. Pakistan continues to show just how rattled it is by anything that challenges its narrative on India. First, Pakistan has extended its airspace ban on Indian aircraft till September 24th. The earlier restriction was set to expire on August 23rd. The ban covers Indian registered aircraft, aircraft operated by lease or leased by Indian Airlines, and even military flights. But Pakistan's frustration has not stopped there. Islamabad has summoned the top US diplomat there after US Envoy Sergio Gore called Kashmir an important part of India. A statement that clearly did not go very well with Pakistan. Another development, security barriers outside the Indian High Commission have now been removed as well by Pakistan. Now, Pakistan's moves have triggered a tit-for-tat response from India. The barricades and queue management structures outside the Pakistan High Commission in New Delhi have been removed. The unauthorized structures outside the Pakistan High Commission, including crew liners near the visa section, were erected on a lane beyond the mission's approved boundary. Authorities have now cleared these structures and removed the external security parameter. A clear message that if Pakistan chooses confrontation and pettiness, India will respond.
Authorities have removed the structures, the shed and the queue management barriers outside the Pakistani High Commission, and you can see in these visuals that how these sheds are being put over here. They have been removed by the authorities. Now this was the queue managing barrier that was being put over here, the shed over here, and you can see over there that is window 1, Pakistan passport only written on that particular wall. But this particular structure was constructed outside the Pakistani High Commission. We know for a fact that it is seen as a tit for tat stand that India has taken against Pakistan. According to the sources, these structures, including queue liners installed near the visa section of Pakistani mission, were located on the lane outside compound's approval boundary. Now the development comes days after Pakistan removed security barricades and parking poles placed outside Indian High Commission in Islamabad. So a message has gone out by India to Pakistan that if you will indulge in such cheap theatrics, then India will respond in a strong manner, and hence these queue management barricades have been removed from over here. A strong message has gone out. We have to wait and watch what exactly will come out of it. But you can see this is the debris of the sheds that were being erected over here. You can see it was the window of the collection of visa application, of business conference, foreign sports. A strong message by India. We have to wait and watch what exactly will Pakistan have to say on this. This is Mohit Bhatt reporting from Pakistani High Commission for Times Now.
All right, just in case you missed it, take a listen to what Mr. Gore had said in Kashmir yesterday. It's important to remember that he is not just the US envoy in India, he's also President Trump's special representative for South and Central Asia. Therefore, what he says becomes doubly important. Listen in to Sergio Gore.
It's a pleasure to be here. As everybody here knows, I'm the U.S. Ambassador to India, and this is an important part of India, and so I'm here visiting for the first time. It is an incredibly beautiful place, and so I'm thrilled to be here, thrilled to see this place. We just had a very good meeting, and we have some follow-ups that we hope to take back to Washington, back to Delhi, but a very warm, a very cordial, and we look forward to building this relationship forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, Islamabad, of course, in their démarche has called those comments by Sergio Gore irresponsible and factually incorrect. Let me go straight across to Mayank, who is joining us on the broadcast. Akansha is joining us live from Ladakh. Ladakh is where Mr. Gore has just landed, Ambassador Gore has just landed. This is a very strategically sensitive region. It has long been at the center of the India-China boundary dispute. Ladakh's location, of course, makes this visit specially important, with India, China and Pakistan all holding territory in the wider region. And for Beijing, the message is unlikely to be missed. A serving US ambassador's visit to Leh gives Washington's engagement with Ladakh a clear diplomatic weight. So is Gore's Ladakh visit a carefully calibrated signal to China? That, of course, is the question that will be closely looked at. Akansha, you are joining us from Ladakh as we speak. There was some confusion, I would say, about whether Mr. Gore finally has decided to visit Ladakh or not, or has he cancelled it after his statement yesterday made the headlines. He's clearly landed there. You've gotten us the pictures. The question now is he meeting the Dalai Lama?
Right. Times Now is the only channel which has those visuals confirming that, yes, the U.S. ambassador to India, Ambassador Sergio Gore, who you, as rightly highlighted, is also the South Asian and Central Asian envoy by the United States. So it's a very critical visit. Yes, he's very much here after a lot of back and forth. Perhaps the U.S. government also wants the visuals to speak for themselves instead of, putting it out there in the press, which is why they have been extremely tight-lipped, and there had been a lot of confusion surrounding his visit, a lot of secrecy also shrouding this Leh visit, because remember, he's arrived amid speculation that he could be having a meeting with His Holiness the Dalai Dalai Lama. His office confirmed that that meeting was expected to happen, but perhaps it may not happen. Why so? Because China does not welcome any foreign governments engaging with His Holiness. They, of course, view him as a political figure more than a religious figure. But the United States, remember, has always supported the Tibetan cause of freedom. And that is also their stated line when it comes to human rights or even religious freedom. And so it would be interesting to see whether the U.S. Ambassador Sergio Gore will be meeting or not. Even if he doesn't meet, that in itself is a statement that perhaps the U.S. is trying to calm down the tensions, given that they cannot afford to ruffle feathers in Beijing. Because remember, President Xi Jinping is all set to visit the United States. He'll be in Washington on September 24th. So that is something they don't want to do, even more so, as you rightly highlighted, after what's happened in Pakistan. But it's a very strong statement because India has always held the wider West culpable for turning Kashmir, which is very much an inalienable and irrevocable part of India, as a dispute at the UN. Our External Affairs Minister, Dr. Jaishankar, has always maintained that countries like the US, even say the UK, Canada, Australia, Germany, they were all culpable in taking the Kashmir issue to the UN, and instead of calling it an invasion by Pakistan, they termed it as a dispute where the perpetrator and the victim were placed at par.
Okay, in fact, this visit to Leh is, of course, coming a day after he made headlines in Kashmir. He stated the obvious. As far as India is concerned, Mayank, Sergio Gore stated the obvious, that Kashmir is an important part of India. It's an integral part of India. But he went a step ahead and he said that India has taken incredible steps to make Kashmir safe. He's also gone on to say that the US could be considering downgrading its travel warning for Jammu and Kashmir. Therefore, in that context, is Pakistan's petty reaction on expected lines? The demarche was expected, no time was expected, and they'd do something as silly as removing poles outside the Indian embassy in US. That was expected as well. In Islamabad, I beg your pardon.
Shreya, the word petty is important and it should be used here because the place where we are standing is the peripheral, it's close to the peripheral wall of the Pakistan embassy in Delhi. And it is an area which had encroachment. Mind, this term is very important because Pakistan it removed the security barriers, which are very important as far as for the sake of regulation of movement to the embassies is concerned. And one cannot be using any term which can describe the kind of significance or sensitivity which is involved for the embassies, which can Indian embassy which is in Pakistan. So this difference has to be understood by everyone because removing security barriers and removing the encroachments are two different things actually. And we are standing in the same area when the encroachment was there, and the security agencies and the law and order agencies, they have removed those barriers from this place. And it was used it's a visa section actually. The people who were supposed to visit Pakistan, they were extended visa from this place only. And you can see it in our camera that Pakistani passport only is written. So these were the places wherein iron bars were used for regulating the queues. And in fact, iron sheets are there which are lying all around me, and it is on two different sites. It's almost in the area of almost 30 to 40 meters that these sheets were strewn, and they were raised on encroached areas, Shreya. So that is very important. That's why it is to signify the word petty, which has been the term which we are using to show the kind of behavior Pakistan has showed.
In fact, we are hearing from Shashi Tharoor as well on the matter. Let's listen in.
But you know that it's very good that he's saying something which we have been insisting for a long time. But you know that it's very good that he's saying something which we have been insisting for a long time. But you know that it's very good that he's saying something which we have been insisting for a long time. But you know that it's very good that he's saying something which we have been. Decision taken by the Prime Minister Modi ji and Amit Shah are showing fruit today.
when they abrogated 370 and 35A, there were people who were saying that it is wrong and when we come back, we'll bring it back. But today, abrogation has resulted into complete merger and amalgamation of Kashmir, and there's peace in Kashmir. There's no stone pelting today. There are people, boys who hold Taranga in their hand. People are with laptops today in the valley, and then they rejoice the celebration of the independence. And more than 2 crore tourists have visited last season. So this clearly shows, and now the world is acknowledging it. This is the difference between the Modi Sarkar and the Nehruian theory of Kashmir.
On that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm slipping into a quick break. Amita is joining you at the top of 1:30 with all the latest. Do stay with us.
Top of the world.